Oh yeah, y'all. Hinds County, yes, tonight. Only right here on you know what. All right.
You play together?
It's going down. That's right. On the hottest show in town. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. That's right, people. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, man. Listen, so good to see each and every one of you in here tonight. Got to get our man in the building. We got to get by yeah. Yeah, it's road time tonight. We on some ape stuff. Get all these devices hooked up here. Make sure I got all these devices. Whew, man, what a night, what a night, what a night. What a night. Can we get a 1K up in here? I don't know. Somebody said pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Let me get sound check. Sound check. Yeah, we good on sound? Is the sound straight? Yeah, man. Whew, I'm telling you. They told me it was urgent, people. Look how many staff they put on it. All right? They said it was urgent. They said it was urgent, man. And I'm telling you, inside this folder tonight is exclusive talk about Hinds County, some Hinds County elected officials and some appointed officials and what's really going on in Hinds County. You sent it, I talk about it. That's the way it's going to be from here on in, people. Ain't nothing personal. I ain't got no dog in the fight. I'm just the messenger. All right. And that's the way it is. So hey, let me give that disclaimer. I'm not taking any sides. I don't have an opinion about it. I'm just gonna talk. Ain't that what we used to do? Y'all just want me to talk, right? That's how we got to where we are. Me talking the talk and keeping it 100. All right. We just doing what? Talking about what we talking about. That's what we've always have done. And so tonight we down the road of several Hinds County officials, man. And I'm telling you, this stuff is interesting. Rather you believe it or not, it's just good to talk about. That's something we don't do no more in the Black community. We don't talk. And so this is the show where you can talk and I can talk and we can have fun. And man, listen, I believe we got 1K up in here. I believe we can get it. I believe the stuff that we got is so juicy tonight. And I'll elaborate on it. I'll ad-lib on it a little bit here and there. But I know we get 500, but I believe 1,000 people might get in this room, share, tag a friend. And I'm going to tell you, it's just exclusive. This stuff, woo. Get your drink out, get your smoke out, your vape out, your CBD out. Listen, man, it's just good to be in the building. Huh? I'm telling you, people, to see so many people in here tonight, Carolyn Palmer, Ms. Lynn, Ebony Devereaux, Deborah Nichols Stady, Carmelita Scott, Monica Hamberlin, Elaine Martin, said, man, just to see Christopher Page, to see so many good people in here tonight, man, faithful followers, faithful viewers, man, we are just excited. I know we gonna have a good show tonight, man. We gonna have some fun. Your ears and your mouth, your mouth will drop. Your ears will be just tickled to death. Like, man, and because we got it, man. And listen, let me tell you something. There's nothing, let me say this, people. Let me say this. At the end of the day, and I want y'all to come out this Wednesday and happy hour 5 to 7. Let me go ahead and throw that in real quick. This Wednesday, come on out 5 to 7 and enjoy happy hour and then enjoy the band. I think we might have 2 bands this week, and I got to check. But just come on out, have a good time at the Experience 251 West South Street right here in the capital city of Jackson, Mississippi. All right, and just enjoy yourself. Grown folks, entertainment, and just a nice kickback time and a nice venue to kick back in. All right, but listen, I'm just excited, man. I'm excited tonight because, you know, I put something out there a couple of weeks ago. Hey, and Brother White is in here tonight, and he's here. And Brother White, now listen, I know a lot of y'all been calling me today on my other number, the 896 number. Let me tell you what happened. I gotta tell you. So I was doing a client's home yesterday, and I started a burn pile, right? And in there, I gotta tell this before I get on the air, because we're gonna get this room tired to fill up. And we almost at 500. Way to go, team. I started a burn pile, and the client's son took 2 of my iPhone 12s and stuck them in the burn pile. So y'all hear me? 2 iPhone 12s, Max, Pro Max, got stuck in a burn pile yesterday. So if you calling on that 896 number and I ain't answering, I ain't went and got a new phone yet. Luckily, I got some backups over here. Luckily, I got backups. Luckily, I got some back, but I just ain't got no backup on that one. And that's the number that everybody got. These other numbers, You got to be exclusive to have them. Somebody probably say, "Damn, this Negro got 5 phones." Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So them other 2 numbers, they out of order right now, and I can't give y'all these numbers because these numbers are exclusive numbers. You got to be VIP to have these other 3 numbers. So if you calling that 896 or that 488 number and I'm not answering, that's why. Cause I'm so yeah, he put 2 iPhones in the burn pile, not 1. He was fascinated with 5. He put 2 of them. He put 2 iPhones in the fire, y'all. And so I'm out of there on them 2 numbers there. And these other 3 numbers are exclusive. I cannot give them out to no one other than people who already have them. So if you hear it ring in here while I'm on here tonight, you know them VIP folks. These them plug phones right here. These phones here strictly for the plug, baby. They strictly for the plug. But anyhow, oh man, no, that's real. That's a real story. Listen, people. He put 2 iPhones in the burn pile. And when his mom asked him, listen, he listen now. Let me tell y'all this. He's special, and he just as sweet as he can be, but he autistic. And when his mom, and so big shouts out to autistic kids. All right, big shouts out to autistic kids. So when his mom asked him, did you do that? He looked at her and just started smiling. I was so mad at her, I ain't know what to do. But later on, I thought about it. I said, you know what? He really taught me a lesson. He showed me that we put too much dependency in these gadgets. Because I was lost for about 5 or 6 hours. For 5 or 6 hours, like my whole world. It wasn't the part of getting a new phone, because I can afford a new phone. It was the fact that all my information and everything, it was gone. It was gone. I didn't have it. And for 4 or 5 hours, I was just lost. And I told her, matter of fact, I told his mom in the morning, I said, you know what? He really taught me a lesson. And so he didn't mean no harm because he got an iPad. And guess what? It was in the house secure. He didn't put that in the fire, but he took 2 of my iPhones and stuck them in the fire. Man, big shouts out to autistic kids, man. If you have a child with autism, you have a special child. They are there, and listen, they ain't gonna lie. So whatever they tell you, it happened. If they tell you somebody did something, they did it. He didn't lie. Grown folks would have lied about that one, but he didn't tell the truth either. He just had a look on his face. She said, did you put those in the fire? He just looked at her like this and started smiling. She said he did. Man, you talk about a moment out of pain. Man, out of pain. Listen, boy, if I could replay that moment for y'all, man, that moment right there is worth a bit. Man, that's the type of stuff you put on home from this video. Man, the look on his face was like, I don't know if I should say yes. I don't know if I should say no. But whatever it is, it's funny to me. Oh, man. Hey, man, big shouts out to the autistic kids. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Big shouts out to autistic children. Anyhow. So, hey, man, the room is rocking and rolling. It is steady climbing. People, we have exclusive information tonight from Hinds County. I have several pages of information. I also have information about anti-Lumumba and the Democrat Party. I have said for the last couple of weeks and that I wasn't going to talk politics anymore. You guys don't, I don't know. I can't say you don't listen, but I guess we just not seeing the results that we want to see citywide as far as it comes to the apathy dealing with politics in this capital city. The African American community controls the political arena here in the capital city of Jackson, Mississippi. And that African American community is pretty much a liberal, democratic African American community. Through 4 to 5 years now of my studying and the team and the inner working of peoples that we have in certain places, we are fully aware that the political arena that has a stronghold on this city is ran by Black liberals. We're clear of that, and that's understood. I think we also are clear on the fact that most of that group is a group of people that are intertwined throughout the churches and fraternities and things like that, which makes Jackson's political scene very very interesting. It not only makes it very interesting, but it also makes it very easy to target, okay? Because we all know that there are people that are scratching the backs of each other throughout this community. And the majority of them are African American liberals. Somebody says, well, why do you keep saying that, Polo? Why do you keep talking about African American liberals? Because I think it's important. I think it's important that when we look at this city and we look at what the city is going through and we hear all of the propaganda that is being spewed out by mayors and pastors and preachers, community leaders, the words that they're saying don't add up to the conditions that we're faced with. And so it's imperative that we make the connection that these are African American liberals that are making all of these promises, that are talking about all of these programs, that are talking about all of these consultant fees and all this that's going to make the life better for African American people and just people in general in the capital city of Jackson, Mississippi. And it never plays out. For 20 years now, since African Americans have controlled the political scene here in the capital city, it has never played out. Jackson has gotten worse when it comes to public school. It's gotten worse when it comes to economic development. It's gotten worse when it comes to crime. It's gotten worse when it comes to HIV, STD disease. It's gotten worse when it comes to mental illness. And so in every area where a city ought to grow and the very fabrics that make the city better, Jackson has declined. And on this sheet of paper tonight, it explains some of the reason why it has declined. You have this large conglomerate group of African Americans who have intertwined and interlocked themselves no matter what they do, no matter how bad they fail, no matter how bad they mess up. They have been able to pull together another group of African American voters that will continue to vote for them or put them in places no matter how big of a failure they are. And that's a great concern. You don't have to be a political analyst. You don't have to be a political pundit. You don't have to be about politics, period. You don't have to be a church member. You don't have to be a Christian, a Muslim, or anything. But just if you're a citizen in the city. I didn't say if you're a thug. I said if you're a citizen. If you're just a person that's minding your business, trying to go to work every day, trying to have something, and living in Jackson, Mississippi, then this type of stuff affects you. It affects you. It affects you, and you need to be mindful of it, and you need to be aware of it. And so tonight, and like I said earlier, this type of stuff don't come from regular people. This type of stuff is not set down and methodically typed out by just a regular Joe or a regular Sally. These are some senior people that, matter of fact, I told you this when you looked at the tape. Young people don't use this type of tape. Fools don't use this type of tape. Some elderly individual, well-versed individual took time to prepare this for this audience tonight. They knew and they trusted that by sending this to this platform, we would talk about it. Because guess what? It needs to be talked about. Somebody says, well, why didn't they do it, Polo? You know what? It's almost like this. Why you ain't out there boxing Floyd Mayweather? You know why? You might can fight, but you don't want to fight Floyd. You know why? Because you know you can't beat him. You might be a good fighter around here in the hood, but you're not good enough to fight for. And so that's how it is with this. This person might be a good writer. They might be good at putting things together, detailed information about who's doing what and why and how, but they might not be a good spokesman. And so guess what? That's why it's called teamwork. You put it together. Are you block and I throw? Are you catch and I run? That's on the football field. Everybody play a different position. And so guess what? They play their position. They got it together. It's detailed. It is what it is. And now I'm gonna play mine. And you go play yours. All right. And so we go down through this. None of this I have prepared. Let me put that disclaimer. It was all sent to me via mail. It read urgent, as you can see on the package, front and back. It read urgent. They want it out. I think it needs to be out. And so tonight we talk about it. All right. And it is what it is. One of the first things that came out in this letter is that they were talking about, and I'm going to ad-lib some of this, the uncomfortable truths of 2021 about this current administration, not just the mayoral administration, but Hinds County Sheriff Department as well. We know that there is a ton of money that comes through the Hinds County Board of Supervisors, as well as the Sheriff Department has its budget. We know that there is money. I believe if you took a forensic audit of the county and some of the county municipalities, you would find that there is something to be concerned about in the disbursement of money and funding and things like that. The Sheriff Department is just one of those areas. The sheriff is the largest law officer in the county, all right? And a lot falls under his jurisdiction. And the sheriff's seat is a political seat. A lot of you don't know that. A lot of you think, well, he's just a law officer. The sheriff's seat is a seat that a person runs for. It's a political seat, all right? And so you have to understand the parts and the plays that go along with this. Well, in this letter, this person alleges and says that Sheriff Vance, who was Chief Vance under Lumumba's administration, along with Lumumba and their diabolical plots to control city and county government, Lee was coached into resigning and retiring from JPD so that he could run for sheriff. And Chuckway later came out and endorsed him for sheriff. All right. So now he retired under the Lumumba administration. And then later on, Lumumba came back and endorsed him for sheriff. Lumumba being just, and I think it's important that we make Antar who he really is. Lumumba is just the face for all of this. He don't have the wits to pull off what these people are pulling off, okay? And so Lumumba is the face. You gotta always have a face. You know, you got to always have a face. You know, kind of like wrestlers have a manager. The Lumumba is the face for this grand scheme, okay? He's the one who they put out front as the face. He's not the smart one in the group. He's also being manipulated, okay? So Lumumba endorses Lee for sheriff, all right? Now, it is greatly known that current Sheriff Vance has several DUI traffic stops while employed at JPD as commander. Now, we talked about this a while back. This ain't hearsay. These are law enforcement officers saying about their other law enforcement officers. There were several times under the scope, under the banner of Commander Vance, that this brother was pulled over for DUI. Well, that ain't he ain't the only one. We know Marshawn Crystal bumped the vehicle one night while DUI. Okay, so we have a commander that cares nothing about responsibility. Like, I ain't got no problem with you drinking, but commander, you know you don't drink and drive, and been stopped several times. And these type of incidents by the black political pundits, liberal pundits of this community, rather than hold him accountable, they isolate him. All right? And so several DUI traffic stops while employed at JPD as commander and other types. Several times he was accused of being under the influence or intoxicated liquor due to a strong odor of alcohol emanating from his vehicle and from his person. So several times other officers have come into contact with Commander Vance while in uniform with a strong odor of alcohol emanating from himself and his personal vehicle. He is alleged to have been involved in domestic violence incidents himself. Guess that's why he condones the radical bigotry and insensitivity towards females. At his time at JPD, Chief Vance said he was aware of some vague comments that had been made by Commander Tyree Jones. So allegedly, and I told y'all about this a while back, about that how they treat women down there at JPD. This been going on. Listen, these black men who are supposed to be vanguards of the community in high positions have literally mistreated the African American women as well as Caucasian women that work in that department and amongst them. A male chauvinist environment. Now, people, if y'all gonna talk about anything and be about rights and freedoms and all that, how is it in 2021 that women are still being mistreated right here in the capital city that's ran by African American liberals? Now watch this. This the kicker right here. This gonna kick you in your ass right here. And it's the women that put these men in the office. It is more black voting women in this city than any other race of people. And it's the women that are electing these people, that are putting people like Vance in office, that turn around then and discriminate against African American women. Why? Hold what you got. Sheriff Vance disciplined female officers who were involved with Commander Tyree Jones, but did not discipline Commander Jones. Sheriff Vance was also involved in a retaliation claim of racial and sexual discrimination lawsuit filed by Tina Wallace. That was settled by Jackson City Council, and we don't know the amount that was paid after that, all right? Sheriff Vance also had received information and was shown a photograph of Commander Jones displaying his private part. Sheriff Vance simply shrugged off Commander Jones' misconduct as funny. Sheriff Vance, at his time at JPD, he allowed interviews that are rigged with favoritism and nepotism. Family members within the command staff and former JPD officers were given positions with preferential treatment. The old JPD staff is currently the new Hinds County Sheriff Department staff with leading positions and high salaries. And that's true. That's true. The same people he had over there at JPD, he brought them right over to the Sheriff Department. Tyree, Wall, White, Hightower, who just got fired, Crane, who over there bringing contraband inside the facility, who now just took Jeff Fielder's place, I think, Crane now. So here it is now. Y'all see the play. The same stuff we just said. Black liberals manipulating the game, taking care of each other, feeding each other. You see what I'm saying? Nobody doing no work. Ain't nobody doing no real work, just paying, hey man, just come on over. We got this money now, I'm gonna pay you. You look out, I'm gonna pay you, all right? Sheriff Vance had knowledge of Captain Felicia Johnson's usage of psychotic medication daily during working hours as she interacted with the staff. Now, I don't know who Captain Felicia Johnson is, but evidently Captain Felicia Johnson was using some type of psychotic medication while on work. Don't shoot the messenger. I told you I don't. Listen, now, we know that there was some crazy stuff going on at JPD because we know a lady had another officer had a gun pulled on her inside JPD headquarters by another police officer. So and that was under Vance's administration, I think. None of that. I wasn't under Davis. So we've had two incompetent police chiefs. Now we have an incompetent sheriff. Sheriff Vance detention staff at the Raymond Detention Center around almost 9 o'clock at night on March 17, 2021, accepted an injured bleeding man, LaKenya Washington, from JPD. The booking staff booked him in without receiving proper medical attention. The medical staff of Quality Correctional Health Care refused to give him immediate needed medical attention that may have saved his life before AMR arrived. LaKenya later died. The protocol for accepting an inmate was not followed. An injured or bleeding inmate must receive medical attention prior to being accepted and taken into custody to be booked in at the Raymond Detention Center. The man was subdued enough for AMR to be called, yet medical staff did not use first aid. And we got the incident report from some of that stuff. Y'all here. Yeah, hey, there it is, man. What y'all think about that? On March the 17th. That was just this year. All right, now listen. Here we go. They going down through the stack. Now, Brother White, you know me and you dead all right. This ain't nothing personal. It's just what came in. Alan White, undersheriff, former acting JPD lieutenant, became precinct 5 commander. Alan White, they say you do not live in Hinds County. You reside in Madison. Alleged sexist, domestic call for tying his then girlfriend, Dana L. Johnson, who is now Miss Dana L. Johnson White, to a tree butt naked. They then tried to lie and say they were having kinky sex. He was demoted in a term fair because of this domestic incident. I'm just the messenger. Now they said Alan White tied some woman, Dana L. Johnson, to a tree butt naked, and then try to lie and say that they were having kinky sex. He was evidently demoted in a term fair because of this domestic incident. People, I'm just the message. I'm just the message. Me and Mother White dead all right. I'm just reading what was sent to me. Ain't no person. Ain't no person. I'm just saying that if these the type of people we got working at the sheriff department, I ain't got no problem with. That's that y'all. Y'all elected Lee Vane. Y'all elected. I did. Y'all did that. So I'm just saying, and if all the law enforcement know this happened, and y'all ain't saying nothing, still allowing it happen, then guess what? I'm all right with it too. If ain't nobody got no problem with it, man, don't shake the fruit on the tree. I'm just evidently somebody wanted us to talk about it. And I told y'all, what did I tell y'all last week? Whatever somebody sent in here, I'm gonna do what? What I say I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk about it. So when somebody took the time to put it together, I'm not gonna come up with another story. I'm only gonna talk about what y'all sent me. Because y'all don't believe it when I say it. So somebody said it. Eric Wall, former Precinct 3 Commander Eric Wall, Jackson Police Department. Now we just know Wall just got in trouble last month for chasing the girl with his wife in the car, his son, baby mama, with his grandchildren. We know that by that incident, so let's see what they say. Eric Wall, former Precinct 3 Commander Eric Wall, Jackson Police Department Disciplinary Review Board has recommended the suspension and demotion of 3 employees. That includes a 15-day suspension of Commander Eric Wall, demoted to sergeant. Now, this was out of a newspaper, and these are some article clippings and some stuff that the incident for the possibilities are for the way the arrest of the teacher was handled. Carrie Gozer was arrested on school property before she received a proper cause hearing, which is against the law. At that time, Chief Robert Moore had to review the recommendation. That was back in 6/21 of 05, I think. All right. So Ed Wall been doing crazy stuff. Ain't nothing new. Ain't a team of renegades down there. Just Nick Rose, just renegade, just getting away. Yeah, that's why I keep trying to tell y'all. And then watch this. The criminals know these Negroes is criminals. So get what criminals do. Man, you can't tell me nothing. Negro worse than me. All right. Tyree Jones, investigation captain, alleged sexist. Jackson Police Commander Tyree Jones was suspended without pay for racial and religious slurs, as well as comments regarding a female anatomy made on his social media page. Jones was involved in a relationship with female subordinates in violation of JPD's sexual harassment policy on numerous occasions. Jones sent a picture of his male parts to a female JPD officer named Bacchini, along with a sexual explicit message. See attachments. A lawsuit was filed claiming race and discrimination against Jones by a former female officer. Tyree. And y'all know we had the whole thing about Tyree and some other officer getting into it. They almost wanted to pull a gun on the one boy about the girl Tyree was screwing or something. I don't know. I mean, and then like I said then, I ain't never had nothing personally against Tyree. He took offense to what I was talking about. And I had to, once again, and then still to this day, I still think he all right do. But what I'm saying is this. You cannot be out here in front of these cameras talking about being a leader in this community and then have a whole debauchery type lifestyle going on behind the scene, man, and it be out of control. Because it was several incidents with him and that girl and her former boyfriend. So I know that situation back and forth. He was a police officer. She was a police officer. Tyree was a police officer. She's sitting around there screwing both of them, putting them against each other. Tyree had a whole wife over there. Thank God they got back together and worked it out. And that's what we want. But I'm saying somebody could have got hurt. And still to this day, the situation, as you can see, still offend some people. Some people in law enforcement are still offended by this type of behavior. And they ought to be, people. People, listen to me. When we have people that are supposed to be role models and leaders in this community, we ought not let them get away with no anything. Ain't nothing wrong with you saying, hey, Tyree, you wrong. Lee Vance, you wrong. Anton, you wrong. Polo, you wrong. Whoever. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Where do we get this idea that because I'm in a position of authority or power, you can't hold me accountable? I'm supposed to hold you accountable, brother. I'm supposed to hold you accountable, sister. You're supposed to be held at a different, higher esteem, brother and sister. It ain't you get to run around and do what you want to do. No, matter of fact, if you got that much power and authority, brother, sister, you really shouldn't be doing nothing. You really should just be chilling and thanking the Creator how He done help you to get to where you at. You don't use your power and authority to belittle folks or to make other folks bad or to wreck somebody else. I told you a couple of weeks ago, you either investing in people or you destroying people. You doing one or the other. That goes for all of us. We either investing or we destroying. That now bottom line, Tyree, another person. Clara Baker worked for private law office versus putting all her efforts into helping the sheriff do what's needed to be in compliance with the consent decree mandate. Richard Fielder, warden, who was just demoted. All right, so Richard Fielder was just demoted. All right, as a warden of the jail, he violates policies daily. He chews Skoal tobacco, they say. That is a brand of smokeless tobacco. It's consistently a coarse divided tobacco leaf that is mixed with sugar and molasses and packaged in a pack. It is used as a twist or a plug. All the Hinds County office facilities are tobacco free. So listen, he down there with tobacco in his mouth. They saying, listen, Hinds County says that their offices are tobacco free. Snuff, dip, chew is tobacco. So how is he sitting down there chewing tobacco all day and spitting it in a cup in front of folks? They got a point, people. They got a point. Listen, and see, this is what I'm talking about. People, until you start following basic rules, don't be talking about you no leader. If you can't follow basic rules, now the rule is that Hinds County is tobacco free. So what you doing down there with Skoal in your mouth, spitting in a cup, and ain't nobody saying nothing? They just letting you do what you want to do. Well, you've been demoted anyway. In meetings, he had to spit on a bottle or a cup. He walks around with Skoal drippings on his uniform, and the dry, that stuff drip down on your uniform and all that, and let you know he wears the same uniform for a couple of days without washing. The same old dirty uniform. His appearance as a warden is unbecoming to the office. So he just down there just looking any kind of way. He's very disrespectful when he talks to people, and he talks others down on a regular, sometimes using racist remarks during the process. He was just demoted down to sergeant. All right. Travis Crane, assistant warden. All right. Then Captain Travis Crane of Raymond Detention Center was demoted December of 2016 to a detention officer and transferred to the Jackson downtown adult detention center for possible excessive force and contraband. He later resigned. All right. Does not have a substantial education to hold the position as assistant warden. He received an attendance certificate for completing 12 years of school. It is not a high school diploma or a GED. He does not hold a bachelor degree and doesn't possess the credentials, licensing, and comparable education, training, nor experience that will qualify him to adequately and competently oversee the jails as the assistant warden. Well, he's been moved up to warden as of last week. So here we go. He like the superintendent of JPS. He ain't even got a learner's permit. This Negro ain't even got, man, I'm finna go to a whole nother game. This Negro ain't even got a high school diploma. This Negro ain't even got a high school diploma, and Lee done made him head over the jail. Do y'all hear this, man? This Negro ain't even got a high school diploma. This Negro didn't even complete high school. They say that about Terrence Mayfield. They say Terrence Mayfield ain't no real police officer. That's my friend. But they say Terrence ain't no real police officer. You ain't completed the academy. They say there's a bunch of y'all out there ain't completed academy. You Negro grew up being mistreated and stuff like that, wanting to be police so bad you slid in, talking about you were grandfathered in. Ain't no such thing as being grandfathered in as a police officer. Man, you got to go get some training. So y'all got a nigga with no diploma down here with a badge, a car, and a salary. Man, stop. And y'all wonder why Jackson the way it is. Y'all stop. Y'all, anybody need a commercial? This man ain't got a high school diploma. Matter of fact, Crank, they said you rode the short bus in school. They said you rode the short bus when you was in school. Now, I don't know how true it is. They said Crane rode the short bus with one of them cushion helmets on for a long time in school. If somebody can produce some pictures, show it to me. I'm just saying. Now all of a sudden, this nigga running to jail. Do y'all know if you rode the short bus with that helmet on, what that meant? You was weak. I ain't nothing against nobody retarded. Because some of y'all retarded just don't know you retarded. But that means you was retarded. So Lee Van, the incompetent sheriff, endorsed by the incompetent mayor, has a retard running the jail. Lord have mercy. Watch this. As an assistant warden, he did not receive jail administration training prior to his start of his employment. He's not certified with his needed credentials that would make him qualified to run the jail, yet he attempts to get certified in many other areas of the department. For example, honor guard, negotiator, and SWAT, participating in deceptive tryout for the police academy. He already knew who he was going to be chosen, yet he allowed approximately 40 individuals tryout to secure the spot. He possibly has sexual harassment allegations. He also allegedly resides in Byram with a current Hinds County Sheriff Office female detention officer. So he's sleeping with a subordinate. He is not familiar with the terms of the consent decree. There have been attempts by inmates to put money on his head now for currently owing money for contraband that the inmates did not receive. He has allegations of him recently receiving payments for contraband. I've been told y'all that. They been said they want Crane. Man, that been the talk of the town. They ain't nothing new. They been said he done ran off with them boy money down there and they were looking for him. Everybody knew that. And listen, let me tell you something. Folks ain't out here saying you owe them money if you don't owe them no money now. You know folks don't just do that, right? Folks ain't out here saying nobody owe them no money if you don't owe them no money. Contraband a big business in the county jail. That's a big business. Now, if Crane the retard is now over the jail so that he can bring in all the contraband he wants, who he cutting out on his take from the contraband? Remember I told y'all earlier, you always got to have a face. He not smart enough. So who putting him in the position to run the contraband game and to get they cut out of it? Just think about it. Just think, people. You run the contraband Cause I can't have my face on. Just give me my cut. Felicia Johnson, captain, jail support. Currently served as captain with no supervisor experience or skill. Promoted from record clerk to captain and placed over the entire jail at the Jackson Downtown Adult Facility. She did not have 3 years of field experience, according as instructed by the posting of the job, including experience working in the jail. Allegations of sexual harassing male officers. So she down there trying to take some meat. They say she a big girl. I don't know. So if somebody know, somebody say she a big girl. She down there trying to take her some meat. I'm just saying. This going on in Hinds County, y'all. At the sheriff department. It going on. She might not have 3 years of experience in the jail, but she got 3 years of experience in how to take that meat. She gonna take her some. They say she harassing males. She is accused of allegedly allegations of sexual harassing male officers. If the officers don't comply, she retaliates by using her authority. Lord, man, y'all better hit the share button. Y'all better tag a friend. It going down in Hinds County. Well, we got some roles to go. We ain't through. Yeah, boy, we got a long show tonight. We got several more pages, man. Y'all want it all tonight? Or y'all want a 2-part series? Y'all tell me. I'm tired. I can go lay down. This corona. Boy, this stuff here. Ooh, y'all tell me. Y'all want it all tonight? Y'all gonna ride out? We gonna ride out the whole time? Y'all tell me what y'all. Man, we got several more pages to go. We got several more pages. What y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? Because we are an hour in already. Y'all tell me what y'all want to do. Is we riding it out all night? Latoya, what you mean? I can't do the recap. Some y'all tell them. Some people just come in and say where we at. Y'all tell them on timeline where we at. Somebody said a 3-part series, 2-part. All right, what we doing? 2-part, 3 parts, all night. Come on now. I need to know, man, because this stuff, woo, man, there's a lot of stuff, man. Yeah. We got names after names after names. What they say, roll on. Make it too far. All right, we come back tomorrow with it. We gonna get through these names tonight. We'll come back and ad-lib and focus in on some of the stuff tomorrow night. All right, where we stopped there? Felicia Johnson. All right, next up, coming down your road, Eddie Lee Burnside. Eddie Lee Burnside. We coming down your road. Operation manager at Hinds Young Juvenile Justice Center. Burnside worked for the Jackson Police Department for 4 years before his dismissal in 1997. He was arrested after a joint investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Vicksburg Police Department. The 4-year veteran was first arrested in September of 1997 by the Jackson Hinds Drug Enforcement Unit on charges of delivering crack cocaine and conspiracy to distribute crack cocaine. He was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges stemming from the 1997 arrest. The juveniles that are in his custody at the Hinds Young are allegedly having sex with an adult security staff member. I've been told y'all about that. Oh, y'all get ready, man. Y'all tag a friend, hit the share button. We round 2, boy. This stuff finna get juicy up in here. Ooh-wee. So we got juveniles, and they've been saying that now. I told y'all for the long time they were taking them juveniles when they didn't have no water. They might still not have no water. The juvenile one, man, listen, I had several parents call me. I think we did a show about it. Juveniles were being driven all the way to Raymond to take a shower. And several juveniles were complaining about sexual harassment inside the Hinds Young Juvenile Detention Center. Now, I remember when a certain judge, they fought like hell to get Judge Skinner up out of there. And Judge Skinner was a good friend of mine, still a good friend of mine. And man, He had major problems out of them people over there trying to do what's right for our children. We did a whole show over 3 years ago about the Hinds Young Juvenile Detention Center and how it was being mismanaged and was just going down here. And they were fighting the people that were trying to help the children. At any given time, you got children there in the Hinds Young Juvenile Detention Center that are children of sexual abuse, mental illness, all type of stuff that y'all don't know about. I'm telling you, man, it's some bad stuff going on, man. And you got somebody over there that don't know nothing. Another one of these, oh man, I'm gonna give you a position. Look out for me. Another one of these people, that just was given a position and don't know what the hell they doing. You hear me? Just a mess, man. Just a doggone mess. I told y'all, everybody ain't got this number. Just a doggone mess. So there have been alleged escapes from the Hinds County Sheriff Department transport van. Wait a minute, hold on. The juveniles that are in his custody at the Hinds Young are allegedly having sex with the adult security staff members. This definitely is not an appropriate relationship to have with the young people. This is not just a security guard versus kids approach. There have been several alleged escapes from the Hinds County Sheriff Office transportation van on Gallatin Street by a juvenile, what is considered trauma for youth, and they are, here we go. Many of these youths have been considered trauma youths, and many have tested positive for STDs. There are measures for immediate action and improvement. One may wonder, how do these incidents affect the juvenile's physical and mental health? Boy, that right there just did something to me, y'all. It rubbed me the wrong way right there. And let me tell you why, people. Let me tell you why. These Negroes don't care about nothing. They don't listen to me. Listen to me. None of these elected officials, none of these people we talked about tonight or in the past, don't care about nothing but money. They don't care about your children. They don't care about our women. That's why I know y'all crazy, man. Man, ain't no way. Listen, You think this type of stuff could go on in Rankin County detention center? You think these type of accusations could be made against them, against staff out there, and this stuff not be? Man, those people are burning the building down about them children, even though they trouble. Man, them folks ain't gonna have that out there, man. White folks ain't gonna have they troubled children being abused and sexually abused in the system. Man, white folks would raise hell if they heard any type of stuff about a child. Child already in trouble. They in juvenile detention. They already in trouble. They already a troubled child. And then a Negro come in there and prey on a troubled child. Eddie Lee Burnside. You're allowing that stuff to go on over there. This community ought to be in an uproar. We all want to see every piece of paperwork, everything going on over there here in Young Juvenile Detention. Matter of fact, get a camera up in there. Let's see what it look like up in there. I told y'all, black folks, see, you don't be offended. You don't be offended about the wrong stuff. You want to be offended about something? That's something to be mad about right there, man. That you want to march? Go march around that motherfucker there. That's something you need to be marching around. Y'all need to be out there every day with a sign, and the media out there every day talking about what's going on with our children. They already in trouble. Who's saving them? Who working on them over there? Who working on them? Who helping them? What psychiatrists they seeing? Who getting them the help that they need? Negro quiet on that. Henry, we didn't say it was a man, Henry. We didn't say it was a man. We didn't say it was a man. It's some sick women out here. So there's sick women over there having sex with them children. Hell, you just had a woman in Rankin County having sex with her own son. So yeah, they don't put nothing past. I don't put nothing past nobody. Look at Oprah. Y'all let Oprah run around the kids all day long. Look at Oprah County. That nigga been running around with kids for 15, 20 years. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Folks just caught him texting a little girl at 11 o'clock at night. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Robert Graham, Hinds County Board of Supervisors. In an email, Robert Graham responded to a certain individual that the Hinds County Board of Supervisors is committed to improving the overall conditions at the Raymond Detention Center and to have taken several positive steps towards that end. The board stands ready to support the incoming Sheriff Lee Vance with the resources that he needs in order to maintain the jail and address the issues that have been brought forth by the United States Department of Justice. That's what Robert Graham said. Another propaganda speech. See, this what I'm showing you. This what these niggas say. He said that in the propaganda speech in reference to the consent decree. The Hinds County Board of Supervisors is responsible for allocating money to the jail. But as Calhoun is quick to point out, the sheriff is responsible for operating the jail. At a January the 15th special meeting, the Board of Supervisors approved spending of $896,000 to the changing the doors and the locks of 73 individual cells. Upon this administration's entering the Hinds County Sheriff's Office, they purchased cheap drones and an X-ray machine, four-wheelers, patrol cars, and other vehicles. They currently purchased 10 new motorcycles for traffic division that is in non-existence. Y'all see it? They go Mayor Patty. Patty, y'all see what Mayor Patty just put up there? Don't who else knew that? See what Patty just said? Judge Skinner exposed DHS for holding the children hostage. Hinds County Board of Supervisors fought against Judge Skinner, took his budget and everything. I knew all about it. The person that could have been y'all mayor and break up some of this stuff, she just put it up there and show y'all she been knowing what's going on. What Ken Wills and all the rest of them dumb folks said on there, they don't know nothing about this type of stuff. You ain't heard it. Ain't never talked about it. We've been doing stories about it. Kenny Wayne Jones, intern county administrator, former Canton Municipal Utilities Executive Director, was issued a civil demand for the misspending of $78,612.81 in October 2018. He was asked for his resignation or be fired. The severance pay was prohibited because he was an elected official. His defense is he resigned and was not fired. He want the fact that if he didn't resign, he would have been fired to be overlooked. He wanted to believe that his name was borderline slander. Either way, true or false, there is no in between that Kenny Wayne Jones did spend $78,612.81 from Canton Municipal Utilities. And he was elected twice as a representative in this state by his peers. Now he down there working with the Hinds County Board of Supervisors, walking around in tag play, you know, like he a big shot. Lord. Y'all hear it, man. Y'all see it. On September 29, 2016 at 7:56 a.m., these texts were sent to Chief Vance. I guess these are you are ill-informed of the crime stats in Jackson. JPD has become notorious for misrepresenting the code of the crime. They will code burglars as malicious mischief incidents. Don't let the crime stats fool you. Vance is a farce that the media has brainwashed the public into believing that he is an adequate leader. JPD has had problems since its inception, as with all other agencies. As the largest police department in the state, JPD is led by an inadequate team of illogical people. JPD needs an outside presence to lead them. Chief Vance also responded in another text in reference to Tyree Jones showing his penis. I fail to see anything vague in that post. JPD, and by extension, the entire management team of Jackson has become a culture of animal. No, this is somebody else saying to him. Can you understand that, or is it still vague? Cops picking up little girls, prostitution involved with the mayor's office, sexual harassment throughout. Oh, this was just a couple of months ago. Lay to play is rampant. Sexual activity at every turn. City council members who conduct themselves as clowns. Time between the sheets replacing background checks. Is that still vague, Chief? And finally, accepted. If it's systematic, which it is, and it's not stopped, it's accepted. Is that still vague? Chief Vance did not respond. Another text back in 2016. Chief Vance knew or should have known that Jones had relationships with subordinates in violation of JPD's sexual harassment incidents, where Chief Vance disciplined the females officers. Upon the information and belief, Chief Vance knew that Jones had shown his penis and was shown a picture of the penis. Chief Vance shrugged off Commander Jones' incident, and Chief Vance was shown in an eerie, similar situation that Jones' penis was sent to Bethchina along with other original text messages. This is what Commander Jones said to the Bachini. Want you naked with your hair down, sexy as hell. She responded, really, LOL. Maybe you need to stop and get a grapefruit. He responded, LOL, no way. So do I have some good, you know what, B, you know what, painful B word, can I blank you good? Tyree Jones. Memorandum. Travis Crane, Assistant Warden, Hinds County, C.C. Richard Field of Hinds County, dated March the 4th, 2021. Effective immediately. All detainees, whether they are being housed at Jackson Detention Center, Juvenile Detention Center, Hingley Young Work Center, or Rankin County Detention Center, must be in full restraints. Leg irons, wrist trains are to be double locked. Detainee must be accompanied by 2 officers at all times. 1 officer must be handgun qualified. This was put out after they had several escapes from the transport van. On March the 4th, 2021, at approximately 17:50 hours, Transportation Officer Marcus Taylor was transporting 10 juvenile inmates from Juvenile Detention Center back to Hingley Young, from JDC, Jackson Detention Center, I don't know what that, to the Hingley Young after taking showers. Okay, this is when they would ride them to taking showers. Okay, so they should have been Raymond Detention Center. So, okay, so he says on March the 4th, 2021, at approximately 17:50 hours, our Transportation Officer Marcus Taylor was transporting 10 juveniles from the Raymond Detention Center back to the Hingley Young after taking showers. So they had to transport, I told y'all this months ago, that they were taking the young folks all the way to Raymond to take a shower. Now, can y'all imagine what would happen if somebody hit that van? Why are you traveling young? Why y'all ain't got no showers at the Juvenile Detention Center? All right? So, after taking a shower, as I was sitting at the red light at Highway 80 and Gallatin Street, I heard a squeaking noise. And as I looked back, I noticed the back door was open and 1 juvenile had jumped out and took off running, headed west, whom was identified later as Dwayne Kelly. Detainee Kelly had on an orange top, orange pants, black slide-in shoes, and waist chains when he escaped from the van. I immediately escaped the van, went around to the other side and secured the door, then ran back around and got in the van and drove off en route back to Hingley Young with the other 9 juveniles. Officer Jamal Hayes and Robert Sims with Hingley Young was in the van behind me, and they went after the detainee. I immediately notified dispatch, Warden Rick Fielder, Sergeant Terrence Lewis, and Hingley Young Supervisor Sharon Levi of the incident. After dropping the other 9 juveniles off, I immediately responded back to Gallatin Street, and Officer Hayes and Sims had him in custody and secured in their van. I immediately notified all parties and informed them that the detainee was back in custody. He was then transported back to Hingley Young and placed in a holding cell. Assistant Warden Travis Crane, Administrator Eddie Burnside arrived at Hingley Young shortly after. Investigator Martavius Elkins was notified, and dispatch provided a case number in the report. This city out of control. Ooh-wee. Man, y'all call it what you want to call it. Just don't call it under control. This is clean out of control. Wow. Your children, the children, man, I'm telling you, the children, they know it's a joke. Children jumping out the back of the doggone van at the red light. on Highway 8. All right, Mayor Lumumba. Mayor Lumumba has endorsed Democratic nominees across the state, but he has a city that has had fire destruction because of lack of water pressure. That was just the other day. Along with crime issues there in the city of Jackson, he endorsed one Democrat candidate over the other in 2 city council races, which is very frowned upon and never done by party members. I and my wife and others have been involved in the Democratic Party for a very long time, much longer than the mayor has been alive. And what I've seen all the way from the Delta to Jackson is a pity and disgrace. We are all praying for the relief of the Jacksonians here in the Delta. We also thank you for all that you do. The Democratic Party is watching you closely. Ain't no nigga watching me. Shit. What y'all watching me for? I'm not gonna be a lobbyist for the Democrat Party. I'm an independent. I'm an independent voter. Well, man, there it is, y'all. There it is. All I'm gonna tell y'all, man, listen. We got work to do. We got work to do, man. That's it. We got work to do. All right. And black people, the ball's in your court. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be through. And I know we got white Republicans, independents, we got everybody on here, but black liberals run the political landscape of Jackson, Mississippi, and Hinds County. And so whatever you are complaining about, however bad the city looks, however bad our streets are, however bad our schools are, however bad our churches are, however bad our corners are, our gas stations are, our community is because black liberals have allowed it. You run the city. It's your city. It's your city. Y'all control all the votes. White people know they can't win in Jackson. They can win an award. They can't win none of the main seats in Jackson. But yet, Virgin Lindsay Ward can get $22 million of the 1% sales tax increase. Northeast Jackson can keep its streets paved. You don't have a public high school on the other side of I-55 going east. The district is growing, Fondren is growing. Everywhere where there is a large concentration of white Republicans, conservatives, there seems to be order in the city. There seems to be a greater quality of life in the city. And even the criminalized Negroes that create havoc throughout the poor wards of Hinds County and Jackson, Mississippi, even they know not to go to East though. Even they know not to go to Madison. Even they know not to go to Brandon, Pearl, or Rankin County. But they create havoc day in, day out, in the streets, in the neighborhoods, at the stores, in the schools. of the predominantly large-scale wars that are encompassed with poverty-stricken, liberal voting black folks. That's a cold game. I don't want to play that game. It costs too much to be broke. It costs too much to be poverty-stricken. It costs too much to be dumb and ignorant. I don't want to pay that. I refuse to pay that. Tomorrow night, we talk the George Robinson case. 2 officers on trial, jury selection happened today. What's in it for Anton? What's in it for Jody Owens? What's in it for Dennis Sweet? See you back here, same time, same place. Programs and contracts. The new Jackson.
Surprise.
All right, man. Have a great night, y'all. Be blessed. See you back here tomorrow night, 7:30, same time, same place. We talk the George Robinson murder case, the trumped up charges by the DA, the trumped up indictments. What's in it for him? What's in it for the Lumumba administration? And what's in it for Dennis Sweet? Soros money. We talk about it tomorrow night. Yeah.